It's doing it. It's going. Okay. Dogs check. We got a little dog. She's checking. Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I had to eat some food. I'm starving. Absolutely starving. So, excellent connection. See how long that lasts. No, I'm not going to insert an ad. Quit telling me to insert ads. Last time I did that, it ruined everything. Okay. There we are. We're here. We're here. Okay. So, yeah, things are green today for some reason. No one knows why. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing but bad news coming out, but the SPY keeps chugging right along. Fund protection team at work or something. Boom. Oh, wrong one. Ah, it's the wrong one. I'm going to do that one. Let's do the other one. Turn that one off. Do the correct one. There we go. That was a correct one, and I'm turning that off, so both intros are off. Double check. We're good. Okay. So, Iggy Lemon. Thoughts on the Australian data that says BA5 cuts immunity from 3 months to 28 days. They're also thinking the more someone is reinfected, the more likely they are to have chronic symptoms. I mean, I got it twice in a month. So I totally believe that. My neighbor got it twice in a month. Yeah, I think BA5 is so far outside the scope of any of the previous variants that it's the immune system just doesn't recognize it. I need to give it some other name like Omega or something. I don't know, rather than just BA5. I don't know why they stopped giving them Greek alphabet letters. It's in the Omicron family, but I don't know. Hospitals starting to fill up again. Infections are crazy. Reported infections, I read a thing today that was they're 8 to 12 times higher. Infections are 8 to 12 times higher than reported infections because so many at-home tests. But with BA5, the likelihood of getting an at-home test to say you're positive, even though you have all the same symptoms, are very low. That's what happened with me when I had it last month. Was I couldn't test positive, but I definitely had it. I lost smell and taste and everything else. So it's out there. We need what we should have been doing was actively updating the vaccines as the variants came out, so that they didn't get too far away from alpha, which is what, 2 years ago I was when alpha came out and the things mutated since then. So I fully expect that every single human being on this earth is going to lose 3 to 6 weeks a year to this virus until we do something about it. If you get twice a year, you're out for 3 weeks each time, if not more. And that's just going to be the reality of it until we somehow get a handle on this thing. It's mutating so fast that, it's just, you just get it again and again and again. Each time you get it, it could be the last time you get it, if you know what I mean. So, a lot of 1 in 5 people who got an infection came out of it with organ damage. So the second time you get it, it's not that your body's like, oh, I know what this thing is. It's that your body was so weakened by the first infection that now you're gonna get your ass kicked. So, yeah, it's gonna be our reality. We're gonna be facing that again and again and again and again. Okay. SJ really wants me to go somewhere. Oh, I might Google. Oh, it's because my computer restarted. Hey, my computer restarted and my microphone's working. I just noticed that. It didn't reset this time. Interesting. I don't have much people saying my intro's off. My microphone's off. That's like a first. Oh, I forgot to do this. I gotta do that. I gotta go there. Are we turkey? Forgot I wasn't paying attention. On a farm field, looks like spiders? Those giant spider squid things? What the? Did someone do a bunch of alien burnouts? Where the hell am I? I am in I can't tell if I'm... Oh, yeah, I'm in Eastern Turkey. What the heck is... What are those creepy things? Looks like it was done by fire. Or alien burnouts. So weird. I dig it, though. I like it, SJ. Thank you. Okay. Willy Wonka. You still believe in MOAS and nothing happens with dividend. In these dividend plays, we've seen Newegg, Tesla, Apple, and others. It takes about 3 months for something to happen. So we may be on the waiting. Let's see, 3 months from now is what, October? So we got July. Oh yeah, sometime in October. So that's what we're waiting for. Unless something weird happens in between them, such as the bottom falls out of the market. Although usually the bottom falls out of a market come fall. That's just kind of when it happens. Because construction slows down, tourist season's over, things like that. And that's when, and like usually home sales drop in the fall. So home sales are dropping right now, which means they're going to crater in the fall. So they may be prepared to be like, hey, the housing boom is over. Everyone's losing their homes again. And we go from there. So, yeah. MOAS for YOAS. Houston, did you see that? The FTDs the AMC had for the second half of June? 9 million on June 28th. Yeah, it's more than happened in January 2021. It's insane how many there are. Yeah, I thought it was like $128 million worth or something. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, there's more FTDs happening with AMC than they had at any time previously. All right. Okay. Sad Boy Incorporated. Houston, thoughts on Ken Griffin possibly bumping shoulders with the non-suicidal Jeffrey Epstein and the definitely guilty I can't say it around Gas Can Maxwell. Jeffy used to work in derivatives in the 70s and 80s. I mean, they're both Florida dudes, so I don't know. They both hang out with that same crowd, or they did. Pretty much every rich person I think was targeted by Epstein. I'm pretty sure Epstein, his entire wealth was built out of blackmailing rich people. That he would get these children, put them in a room with the rich people, videotape it, and then blackmail them. And that was exactly how he got them to do what he wanted, to buy him stuff, give him money, access to things, homes, properties, whatever. And then I think that was his entire business model, was just blackmailing rich people. So, Ken Griffin is a complete sociopath. I assume he would jump on board with something like that. Casey Chapman, good morning from Italy. We've got Italy, we've got Australia. This is like the early morning people in Europe, and the mid-afternoon people in Australia, I believe, are the ones that hang out here. And then we've got the few weirdo night owls. Okay. Angel Flores Jr., what is up with 90 days after divvy distribution? Is that when hedgies have to pay up, or can they just keep shorting? It appears that that's when they have to start paying up. That they start facing defaults, and the price spikes. So that's what we saw in Apple and Tesla, is that like 90 days later, the price just rocketed because hedge funds got in trouble after those dividends or mergers or whatever happened, that T plus 90. Illy. Good morning from the U.S. Good morning from the U.S. I guess it's technically morning wherever you are. Any thoughts on possible acquisition merger between AMC and anybody? Not financial advice. Worth exiting AMC for GME at this point to cash in after divvy price drop. The AMC thing can go two ways. It could be they announce a partnership, which emboldens the investment in the share price. That partnership may wipe out all their debt, and they're still an independent company. They have a partnership with Disney or Paramount or Amazon or whoever. or they get bought out. And if they get bought out, you're either going to get cash for your shares, or your shares are going to become the parent company, become Amazon shares or Disney shares or Paramount shares or whatever. Either way, I don't see it being a MOAS play, except for the problem is if it becomes the shares of another company, then all of a sudden all those shorts are short on Disney or something. And you don't want to be short on Disney because Disney is a powerhouse. It's a juggernaut, and it will just charge right through everything. So you don't want to be short on Disney if you happen to be short on AMC and you want to figure out how to get out, because you don't want to have to be forced to buy and jack the price of Disney any more than it already is. You're not going to survive that. So I'll be curious to see what the announcement is on the 4th. How long is the 4th from now? 3 weeks? 3 weeks from yesterday. So I'll be curious to see what Adam Aaron does with that. It's Van Hegroil is TV and a Hegroil. I don't know how to pronounce that. Which emphasis on the syllable do I do? Hey Houston, what will happen to GME between the date of record and the distribution of split dividend? Will they short to oblivion? I think so. I bought a put today just before close, totally expecting to have a day where they short the hell out of it. And I'm going to use that cash. I'm going to buy even more GME shares when the price crashes. 75%. I'm just going to eat them all up. I'm totally expecting them to. So hopefully it'll net me a couple of grand to get more. I want more. So, yeah. Abraham Barker, thoughts on China's citizens not paying their mortgage and if people in the U.S. would ever attempt such a protest? I'm all for it. I'm all for every single solitary American who has a student loan to go, no, and just not pay. The only way the president and Congress are going to do anything about it is if they know there's going to be $1.6 trillion in defaults on student loans. Housing, that might be a different animal in the U.S. Because the banks probably go, take it all. And then they and Blackrock or something will split them all up. But Blackrock has huge losses right now. Blackrock's down, was it 22% this quarter? And it's probably because they bought up 1 million houses. And those 1 million houses are all dropping in value right now. So those 1 million houses are worth, let me look at the calculator real quick. Go there. Turn off the Google Earth. Calculator. Why aren't you on calculator? Oh, because the computer restarted. That's right. Calculator. Shboink. There we go. So we got 1 million houses. And the average house price is $500,000. So you're looking at $500 billion of their portfolio. And I don't know how big BlackRock's portfolio is. It's probably a couple trillion. So 25% of their portfolio right now would be houses that are going to lose just a huge amount of their value. Let's see if we can look up. $6.84 trillion. So that's more than I thought. 6.84 trillion. Okay. So divide that sucker by 6, 8, 4. So 7.3% of their portfolio. So they're going to lose probably 40% of that value. So they're going to lose 3% of their entire portfolio just on that. And then they're also going to lose out on whatever mortgage plays they're doing, bond plays they're doing, blue chips, international bonds, everything else is going to crash with it. So they're going to lose $200-300 billion off of that. That's not a very good investment. Casey Chapman, do you think there's a way for the DTCC to distribute synthetic dividend shares? I'm sure we'll see. I bet they're going to figure out a way to do it. Or just like dump those IOUs in there, because basically no one knows except the DTCC. And I wonder if there's a way that GameStop would put a tag on all their fast shares that the SEC could see. I don't know. I'm very curious to see exactly how it plays out and who gets what and when, and who doesn't get anything, and or if the brokerages just go synthetics in everyone's in all of the accounts of their clients, and they just do it that way. I'm very curious to see how that works out. We'll get our answers starting next week. We're a week from Splividend Day, so woo. Where was I? That's Abraham, Billy. I have a hard time believing Adam Aaron has the investor's best interest in mind if there's an offer for AMC and fear of buyout resulting in a cash settlement for AMC shares, which kills the squeeze play. It will definitely kill a squeeze play if they're doing a cash buyout. If they're doing a merger, then you're going to get, if you got, let's say, 100 AMC shares, you might get 10 Disney shares out of it, something like that. Maybe more. Maybe you'll get 20, just to make the investors a little happy. But then you're holding a blue chip. You're not holding a squeeze play anymore. The Oat Milk Man, the most threatening name in YouTube. Houston, where are some good places to find Spinel gemstones? Okay, Spinels. I love Spinels. The only gemmy Spinels I've heard of are in Fresno County in California. I've not been to where they supposedly are and found them myself yet. But one of the largest Spinels I've ever found was in upstate New York, and this, size of a beach ball, but not gem quality at all. It looks like just a triangular shaped rock. Apparently there's Spinel in Franklin, New Jersey. You saw on the Mindat thing. And there's apparently Spinel as well. We looked up that place in, what was that mountain or that rock in Quebec someone sent me to the other day on here. Apparently there was some Spinel there as well. But I have no idea if it's gem quality. Most gem quality Spinel is found in Sri Lanka, Tajikistan, Mahenge in Mozambique. Mahenge Spinels are really cool. I'm going to show you. Mahenge Spinels are like these crazy neon orange color. Mahenge Spinel, and they're worth a fortune. AGS Gems has some. Okay. These guys. Google Chrome. Go there. Mahenge. Yeah, they got... Well, these ones are more pinkish. Some of them are just crazy orange. There was like a 50,000 carat stone that was taken out. And there was a video of it I saw a few years ago. And these guys got on a motorcycle. One dude's riding, one dude's sitting on the back of the motorcycle holding the stone. And by the time they got, 10 hours away to where they could sell it, the stone had like lacerated the dude's thighs. But the stone was worth $50 million. It's crazy. But these stones are worth a fortune. Let's see here. Spinel. These guys are not cheap. Yeah, 3 carats, $42,000. So, well over $10,000 a carat. These ones are not quite as high fire. You want like the more neon colors to them, but still, 1 carat, $5,000. 1 carat, $5,000. You're looking at $5,000 a carat for 1 carat and $10,000 a carat when you get to about 2 carats to 3 carats. They're beautiful and really cool. I think they're some of the prettiest neon colors you can get in stones. But I'm not sure. You can get from Sri Lanka. You can get the cobalt blue Spinels. Those are also worth a good fortune. Cobalt blue Spinel. And they're like sapphires. They also have titanium blue ones, but the cobalt ones are cooler. I think they look closer to like a cashmere sapphire. They got really cool blueness to them. Yeah, that's a huge one. Oh, it's tanzanite. That's a different stone. Oh, Look Yen. There you go. Look Yen is a new Spinel discovery in Vietnam. I have a guy that I became internet buddies with. And He, in his farm field, I can't see because it's got the small screen going. In his farm field, he cuts out the marble and then makes little flowers. And these are tiny little Lucian spinels. These are red ones. And then he also sent me a giant one, which is not here. It's in the safe. That I have. It's 700 carats that I've polished. It's the largest polished spinel in the world. That's my world record holder. And I'm hoping to make some more eventually, but I need to get my roommate's old shit out of the garage so I can utilize the garage and make stuff. But spinels are bitchin'. I love them. They're so cool. They're just so cool. Okay. Bex Houston, happy birthday. After the split end, how quickly do you think the share price will go over $100 again? Oh man, the share price goes over $100 again. That would be the equivalent of this stock being what, $450? That would obliterate hedge funds. How quickly go over 100? I'm all for it. I bet we can get over 100 by October. If this 3-month thing pays out, October sounds pretty good. Get to $100. All of a sudden, it's a $30 billion company, and which is where the stock should be. It should be a $30 billion company, because that's what $6 billion years in sales usually results in, is a $30 billion company on the market, especially a tech firm. So 100 is where it should be on fundamentals. On a squeeze play basis, way higher. Scott Pollen's asking about Days 3D rendering software, which I know nothing about, so answer his question. Doggies 1022.8, sorry. Do you think the market upturn this had anything to do with Jimmy popping post-announcement to keep assets under management in line? I think it has to do with the Fed dumping a bunch of cash that they shouldn't into the market. I think the Fed, report came out. They're supposed to be doing quantitative tightening, which is they're dumping stuff, selling their assets. But it turns out they gained more assets than they sold. So they're actually boosting the market some more. They're keeping the market up and they're propping it up. The news today, wake up to William Morgan sending me about 500 news articles, and every single one of them is the sky is falling. Just again and again. Expect U.S. companies to have record losses. Wells Fargo down 48% in profit. BlackRock down 22%. J.P. Morgan's expecting the worst year ever. Boom, 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 boom. Housing sales down 30%. It's the worst year for bonds since 1784. What's some other ones that was out today? Canadian market is had the largest drop in home price since 2005. Belarus is about to go bankrupt, and they're about to default on all their bonds. So it's happening, man. It's happening. One shitty thing after another. We're about to get to our Mad Max stage here soon. Core Jones, whoop, you just had a birthday. I was hoping you could explain the wolf's egg iron without the alien undertones I keep running into. Wolf's egg iron. I have to know what that is. Wolf's egg iron. That looks exactly like bog iron. Well, it might be meteorite. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Wolf's egg iron. Wolf's egg iron, Hofstra cube. History. I don't know what this is. It's just a cube. It's a cube of iron. It's just an iron cube. Salzburg cube. That's a meteorite. But this thing, this wolf's egg iron, is this what you're talking about? Or just these are 3D models of Allspark transforms. Looks like pyrite in this one. Oh no, you may have to send me a link for something because I don't exactly know. Oh, what? Wolf's egg iron. Oh, is this Salzburg cube? Okay, it is this thing. That looks like a meteorite. Very tertiary ignite. Wolf's egg Austria weighs 785 grams. Four sides roughly flat. Deep groove all the way. Wolf's egg iron became notable when it was claimed to be an out of place artifact. A worked iron cube found buried in a 20 million year old coal seam, identified by scientists as being a meteoric origin. Yeah, it looks like a meteorite. Suggestion later ruled out by analysis. Okay. Also seems that a piece of cast iron used as ballast in mining machinery deposited during mining efforts before it was found apparently within the seam. Okay, so it might have been a piece of ballast that then fell into the seam, and then someone was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" Okay. No trace of nickel, chromium, or cobalt in the iron, suggesting it was not of meteoric origin, while the lack of sulfur indicated it is not a pyrite. Because of low magnesium content, Dr. Jero Kurat, museum, blah blah blah, in Vienna thought it might be cast iron, grill suggesting that similar rough lumps had been used as ballast in early mining machinery. That seems like probably the most plausible thing. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like finding a piece of garbage and then being like, what is this? And then it ends up in a museum, and because it ends up in a museum, it will always be in a museum, and people always wonder what it is. All right, wolf's egg iron. I learned something new today. That people found garbage, and they went, it's magic. Okay. And Nick Houston, the real estate company that Sears holding company is suing, is owned by Eddie Lampert, who also owns Sears. It seems like money laundering and defrauding investors. I worked for Sears holding company until 2010, while he was strip mining the SHC assets. Well, it sounds like Sears has to sue itself. $2.5 billion has got to go somewhere, because they took a lot of property and giving only $40 million to Sears seems like sketchy. But it might take a couple years to unwind all that. Okay. Arias Shadow, Houston. Houston Girk said after split 390 days for the Tesla spike, Cohen tweeted he liked Coke and S. Supersock looked into the Coca-Cola recession millionaires. I think we have a good chance to be recession millionaires. We are the ones who are hedged for this thing. Not many people are hedged for it, but we are definitely hedged for the coming trials, we shall call it. Everyone's gonna be facing some trials here. Daddio357, Houston can be big, still squeeze. I hope so. I still have mine. It is worth garbage compared to what I bought it for. I received my Tide shares. They are worth nothing compared to what they said they were going to be. So I'm curious to see what happens. We got, another 2 months? Until, I think this came out on the 29th. Was it 29th that came out? So we got 2.5 months, probably, until defaults start coming in for those guys. So that's what we're looking for. Angel Flores got somewhere in the west for me. Bam. Gotta get rid of that lawn part. And go like that. And I think I can delete that and go space. Bam. Nope, did not understand the location. Oh, that's because that's a star. Okay. We'll do a space there. Take the star out. Doesn't understand stars. There we go. Oh, you guys see. We're flying. We're going somewhere. We're going to the west. We're going right there. We're going to a hill. A hill next to a highway interchange. Powder Hollow. That's mine. Quarry Hollow. We're at a mine. What mine are we in? Croydon. Where are we? Wyoming? Where are we? Utah? Utah. So is this I-80? No, it's Roy, Ogden. I-80 goes through here. That's I-80 there. So which one are you? Croydon. That looks like an old copper or gold mine or something. Anything special about this spot? Because I see some train tracks, I see a 4-lane highway, and I see a giant mine. And I don't know what else I'm supposed to see there. I'm supposed to drop a person on that point. Yep, got ourselves a mine. Okay. Maybe you can enlighten me as to what we were supposed to see there. Billy. One more, and I'll shut up. Thoughts on effects the single stock ETFs could have against our beloved plays. Gotta be quiet now. Go George Russell. I'm done. I think it's terrible. I think basically the single stock ETFs will be created by hedge funds essentially to infinitely short any play. I don't care if it is a blue chip or a meme stock or a company that's, a growth stock or whatever. Those ETFs are going to be used to short everything to oblivion. And they're going to be able to do it outside the confines of SSRs or any other restrictions. They're just going to do it again. Great. I just got the notice that my internet is going terrible again. What is up with my friggin' internet, dude? You know what? I'm going to look here. I wonder if I have perhaps somebody in my house who are using all my internet, and I give myself priority because it's my internet. I am the one who pays for it. I am the one who bought the router. I have access to that. Okay. Alright, 15 connected devices. Let's see if I can give myself priority. Okay. Boom. Details. Can I give you priority? I can't remember which. Is this Barf Dragon? I can't remember if it's Barf Dragon or Barf Cat. I think you're Barf Dragon. Sorry, doing internet here. Description. There we go. Hopefully that will give me some priority. There we go. Alright, internet seems like it came back all of a sudden. How about that? Okay, maybe that worked. Okay. Angel Flores, I saw on stock tweets that GME is still trading for 15 after 8 p.m. closing. What gives 15 what? 150? I don't know what you're talking about there, Angel. Sorry. Brandon C., longtime fan, can you run through your GME stock split strategy? I don't know if it's going to work. I make no claims it'll work. Everyone's saying that it probably won't work and that I will just end up with getting no dividend. But from what Fidelity and some other brokers have said is that you have to hold through close on the 21st to receive your shares. And they say if you sell between the date of record and between the distribution date, that you will be selling your shares and your dividend shares along with it. Which to me is stupid, because why have a date of record at all if you can just buy after the date of record and then you're going to get shares? Doesn't make any sense to me. But if that's the case, you have to hold through close. There is a T+2, right? So if I sell, I'm gonna try. I might try this. I'm not recommending anyone else do it, but after hours, sell after hours on the 21st for full price, right? The distribution is supposed to happen after hours. So shares get deposited in my account, hopefully. And the next day, the price drops 75%, and I take that cash and I buy up as many shares as possible. If that works out, I could be at 600 to upwards of 700 and something shares. I'm cool. If it doesn't work out, and I sell, and then all my dividend shares go away with it, and I take that cash and I buy the next morning and I have just as many shares as I did before. Okay. Then I'm right where I was. Is it worth a gamble? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, my goal is to get to 1,000 shares. And this is a pretty quick way to get 70% of the way there. And so I might gamble it. I don't know. I'm kind of bored. I'm, YOLO, baby. If worst comes to worst, I'll have exactly as many shares I would have if I just held. So I'm okay with that. Okay. Arius Shadow, please Google VMBS and set timescale to max. Since mortgage-backed securities went to BIT 3 weeks ago, does that mean the housing in the U.S. already crashed? Let's type VMBS. Set time to what? Max? Is that what you want me to do? Where was it? I already lost the chat. All right, Google VMBS. Set time to scale to max. Okay. Yep. So this is from 2009 to now. That looks like it's already crashed to me. I mean, well, it's still above zero, but it's lost 20%. So that means that's further to go. Let me see if I can get this in Yahoo Finance. Might give me further. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing because I have the stupid Google Earth on. I do that all the time. There we go. Go away. VMBS. Max. Okay. So apparently this has only existed since February 09. So February 09, it was $49. So it's basically $1.50 below where it was 13 years ago. And it is $6 below its peak. So I think it's in the process of crashing. This is the first big crash, then it's we're going to settle out, and then it's going to crash after that. So I don't think it's crashed. I think it's on its way to crashing. It's everyone's psyching themselves out thinking, oh, maybe this is the bottom. And then we're going to get more housing news and just fall even more. Yeah. So where we'll be. The volume has certainly gotten crazier. The volume here, right when it dropped, that is a lot of volume. How many assets? 15 billion. So average volume is 3 million, and then there was a day of 98 million. So someone dumped everything at that point. Interesting. Huh. That's wild. Okay. And now the volume's dropped off again, back down to like 1 million. So someone big got out, looks like. Okay, now we're finally getting to the point where I started the show because I was 10 minutes late. Sorry about being late, but I had steaks to eat, and they were delicious. Kumquat Smoothie. Hi, Houston. If you sell any shares on the 21st, hoping to buy back in on the 22nd, won't that mess with possible capital gains for 1-year-old shares? It would, but if the tax goes from 15, 20% to 37%, then I've gained 20% in taxes I got to pay. But if I increase my holdings by almost 50%, then I come out on top. It's like right now, if you go to the gas station and you buy ethanol-free gasoline, and you get the ethanol-free gasoline for, I don't know, $1 more a gallon. So it costs you 25% more per gallon. But you get 30% better gas mileage with it. You're saving money in the end. See what I mean? I'm a gambling man. Well, we'll see what I manage to do. I may put the order in and then nothing happens. Be like, But if something does happen, then I am legend, and I will go with it. Prontal, Houston. L2 seems to be important to JWST, James Webb Space Telescope, because of constant distance to Earth and the Sun, but I don't understand how it helps with stable images from space if the whole solar system is rotating. There's gyroscopes in the thing, so it does technically follow objects because the gyroscopes have it move one way or the other. All space photography, you need to track the object you're following, because if you're just stationary, then the object passes by you and it's bad. If you guys don't know what L2 is, there's L1, L2, L3, L4, which are Lagrange points in orbit. So Lagrange points. Let's do images, so you guys can see what Lagrange points are. Oh, there's L5 too. L4, L3, L5. So, this thing here, below Monkey Butt. So the Earth's here. L2 is between us and like the next orbit. It's like a million miles away from Earth. L1's a similar point. There's L4, L5, and L3. Basically, if you put objects in any of these spots, they will orbit at the exact same rate as the Earth does around objects. It has to do with gravitational pull between these bodies, tidal forces, and whatnot. There was a sci-fi book. Oh, who wrote it? It was about Nemesis. It was this anti-Earth that was obscured from Earth. We never saw it because it was on the other side of the sun at L3, and it was like it was like evil people, evil us, like the exact same version of Earth, but just the evil version. You know, we never saw them because they're always on the opposite side of the sun. We didn't know they were there, but they knew we were here, and they're plotting like our overthrow. Who wrote that? Was the book called Nemesis? Oh shit. Nemesis L3 Lagrange. Earth on Lagrange point. Oh shit. What was that book? Nope, that's just gonna give me the Lagrange points. Chrysalis? No, it's Project Nemesis, and that's not. I got it from the library, so of course I remember what it is. But yeah, those are the Lagrange points. Basically, as long as you're out there, you're stable. You're not going to have to worry about like all you have to do is rotate to get your point as to what you're going to point at. Something like Hubble is constantly going around the Earth, so it's Earth shine in the way, which is a pain in the ass. And you have to make it not just for where you are rotating around the sun, but how you're rotating around the Earth as well. And that's a lot of stabilization you got to do, a lot more math you got to do in there. So you have a simpler system at the Lagrange point out of L2 behind the Earth, where you don't have to worry about like going around the Earth and around the solar system at the same time. All you have to do is just worry about going around the solar system. That's the easiest way I can explain that. Okay. Kung Fuzi poll shows most Floridians think dingleberries are fruits. You know what? I'm not even going to bother looking that up. I'm just going to choose to believe it. Okay. Eric Chan, anyone who watched The Big Short knows it took 3 years for the mortgage-backed securities to squeeze. There was so much legal stuff happening back then, too. I bet all that legal stuff is happening now also, man. Now we got a whole bunch of new dude bros who were children when the last market collapse happened, and they are going to repeat all the same mistakes of their forebearers. They'll be in the same corner offices, having the same like SEC and FDIC and FTC guys raiding their offices. They're gonna go, "What's going on?" And then they'll retire with their little golden parachutes, and they'll appear with some, hedge fund 5 years later, emerge as a new thinker or whatever. Okay. Veritarian, should I go to Portugal, Greece, or back to Ireland for my second solo trip? Ooh. Wheatwild's trying to get me to move to Greece by showing me all the ski resorts that are like 15 euros a day to go skiing. And that does have me curious. I would not mind getting a season's pass for like $50. Doesn't look like the best terrain, and I have no idea what their winters are like, but I'm curious. I have wanted to visit Greece. It does look beautiful and blue waters and all sorts of stuff. But I think I'm going to try and do the Iberian Peninsula. If I get some payoff from these weirdo plays, I'm going to try and take my folks on a vacation there, just so they can see what it's like back in Europe. They've never been. My mom's been to England, but that was in the 70s when England was rainy and rusty. But my dad's never been to Europe, and I think that they would love to have the chance to see some of the old world and walk around and eat delicious food and stuff. Off to I Have Africa with you. Tingleberry pine ice cream makes me happy. Okay, it's just weirdos. Okay, where were we? My chat just reset again, of course. There we go. Okay, Dingleberry pie. Where's your son? Just telling people to smash the like button. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, tell your friends, message your parents, start email chains with my videos. I don't know. Do whatever it is that you do. Okay. They forgot to hit live. It's been ranting for 10 minutes. Okay. All right. Now to make fun of double intro. David Horrington. Press record. Oh, yeah. I didn't press record today. Oh, someone gave me an API that I need to clickety-clack and download them, but I don't have any room in my hard drive. I need to get a hard drive. I have no room in my hard drive for stuff at the moment. I have this much left. And then I can download things, and I need to upload them to Podbean, which I have not been doing. I'm so far. 160 episodes I need to upload to Podbean. I wish there was a way I could do that quickly, but it wants to do it one at a time, and it takes forever, and I just don't have the week it's going to take to upload all those. Okay. Julianne wants to know, how did this form? This is somewhere in the West. This is somewhere... Nevada? Let's copy that. I don't know. I love going to places in the world. Gotta turn on the Google Earth. Gotta click on the Google Earth. Got to... I always like to guess where I'm going. Going south. Going to Arizona. Going to... looks like lava. Where am I? It's a big lava flow. It's a huge lava flow. This is a lava flow in New Mexico. Alright. Yeah, this is basalt. So where'd this come from? This is a Pahoehoe lava flow. That doesn't look like it. That doesn't look like it. That doesn't look like it. Where would be the cinder cone this came from? Is that the cinder cone? Those two look like two rifts. Those look like looks like a whole rift zone here. So this, yeah, it's a rift zone. So this is the Earth split open here, making a bunch of rifts, and see a whole bunch. Basically like Earth-size vagines here. Big lake, big curtain of fire. A whole bunch. Yeah. So see all these things? These are the cinder cones, and they do look like vajayjays from space. That is definitely an Earth hoo-ha right there. But this is a rift zone, so there was a split in the Earth, ka-choink, and a curtain of fire happened. So all this magma came shooting out in a big line and made this flood basalt. It's plain. So this is a whole bunch here. This looks like this must be the end of the rift zone here. This is what shield volcanoes do all the time. I'm not sure as to... It's a huge rift zone. Huge. Made a big giant flood basalt all the way through. And then looks like it perhaps... No, keeps going. So yeah, there's rifts there. And then this looks like flows from those rifts. So this must be the downhill. Where am I? 5,000 feet here. And... No, downhill this way. Weird. Okay, so... Is it uplifted? Or is there more up here? I don't see more rifts up this way. Carrizozo Volcanic Field. That's what this is. I've not been to Carrizozo Volcanic Field. But that looks like a cone as well right there. So Carrizozo Volcanic Field. Carrizozo Volcanic Field, New Mexico. Monogenic Volcanic Field. It says 2 lava flows, the Broken Back flow and the Carrizozo flow. Second youngest in New Mexico. Both lava flows originated from a group of cinder cones. The Broken Back flow is approximately 16 kilometers long. The Carrizozo, one of the longest in the world, is 68 kilometers. Okay, explain that. Lava flows comprise of Pohoyo lava. Yep. Spread throughout lava tubes. Eruptions are estimated to have lasted about 3 decades. The extent of the flows reflects the long eruptive duration rather than high eruption dates. When did these things go? Oh, they're pretty young. Only about 1,000 years ago. Huh. It is pretty young. A lot of these really dry desert places, the volcano, the magmas can look really young. They can be like 50,000 years old. Happens on the east side of Hawaii all the time. So it's part of the Rio Grande Rift, so it was a rift zone. All right. Region Earth's crust is slowly being pulled apart, produces faulting, and provides paths for magma to reach Earth's surface over mantle. All right. So it's mildly alkaline composition. Yeah, so it's a rift zone. So I can show you, like, similar rifts. These are more in jungles, though, because it's Hawaii. But go to Hawaii, go to the Big Island. We actually haven't been to the Big Island in a while. Normally, because you guys the Big Island all the time. But if we go to the lava flow that happened in Leilani Estates. Oh shit, they don't have an update here, do they? This place does not exist anymore. It is volcanic. It is covered in lava. Okay, here we go. Here's rift zone. So they had splits along here, and the flows came down. This is an old one, so from the 50s, I think. But they don't have an updated image of the Leilani Estates getting wiped out by the volcano, because it did. So, oh no, this is pre-update. Okay, so this is the rift zone here. You can kind of see, it didn't quite make the vajayjays the same way that it did in New Mexico, but basically the caldera of Kilauea is here. So it's a big volcano, and on 3 sides there's rift zones that can split apart because the magma intrudes and the volcano just kind of wants to, it's not elastic. It doesn't inflate naturally. It kind of will split at the seams. And so you get a rift zone going along here where curtains of fire will happen. And you get a rift zone going along here where the lava will come out. So these 2 rift zones, and then there's kind of a weak rift zone off to the back. And you can see it really well on Mauna Loa. You got a big southwest rift zone where the mountain will split apart, a big northeast rift zone where the mountain will split apart, and a kind of weak north rift zone, I guess that would be, where it doesn't split apart as often. But it'll split, lava comes out, and it's pretty cool. If we go back to the Chrome, I can show you curtain of fire images. Yeah, this shit's awesome. So those vajayjays that we saw in the New Mexico rift zone, This is what happens. The whole Earth just splits open, and then a giant curtain of fire, basically just lava, just a wall of lava that can go for miles, comes open and it just fires out of there. It's pretty rad. Oftentimes it'll split open and then slowly consolidate into like one cone, but it didn't look like it really consolidated into one cone. Like those rifts seem like they stayed open like that for a pretty long time. So yeah, they're cool, man. Here's a good one. This is the one in Leilani Estates, I think. Yeah, this is the Leilani Estates one that we just looked at. So it's split open. So there you go, Julianne. There's your answer. I would love to see somewhere inland like New Mexico have an eruption event. That'd be awesome. That would kick ass. Bithead Pretender to VWAP Pontiff. Hi, Houston. Please reach out to Gherkin and organize a chat with him, sir. It would be really good for you to have up-to-date info on the split. Please do this. Sure. I'll talk to Gherk. See if we can we'll see about sometime next week. I have a meeting with a Canadian production company on Wednesday, so I'm not sure what time my show will be on Wednesday. But, yeah, I'd love to talk to Gherk. I haven't talked with him in a long time. Let's do it, Bithead. Let's do it. Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Bobby Norwood, MMTLP S1 has been filed. Yep. Calling it something or other energy holdings or something. Wood puppet, COVID is lame, bring on the monkeypox. Man, we're fumbling the monkeypox bag so badly right now. Like, literally, it's in the United States, it's doubling every week. Like, come on, guys. Haven't you learned your lesson? Haven't you learned your lesson to just... Everyone's getting monkeypox at some point, too. It'll be right when I sign a deal with a network, and then monkeypox will happen, and then I won't film. It's going to be lame. All right. Arya Shadow, June 11th, 2022, MBS went no bid. When will the mortgages reflect in the market? When would be a good time to go in on DRV? Speculative. I get it, not financial advice. Want to try to make more for GME. I totally get it. I fully expect mortgage-backed securities to drop as more data comes out each month. I expect them to go hammering down again. Banks are not in good shape. They're firing all their mortgage brokers. There's no money to lend. No one's buying houses. Interest rates are too high, so they can't qualify, and they can't afford the homes that would be where they want to live because interest rates now are insane. So they can only afford cheaper homes. But then, even then, if you're buying a cheaper home and you're paying 6-7% interest on it, is it really a cheaper home? Yeah. You want to be those folks who locked in at like 2.1% in December 2020. Those guys are okay. Everyone else is kind of boned. All right. Is RC's tweet a poop tweet? I thought dingleberries were balls, but also seems to be poop. Dingleberries are little chunks stuck to your butt hairs after you went to the bathroom and didn't wipe properly or wash properly. Those are dingleberries. Monkey butt has short fur. She doesn't get dingleberries. Big dog got long fur. He gets dingleberries. My old cat, B.A. Baracus, he was such a sweet cat, but he got hit by a car when he was like 4 years old, and it broke the last quarter inch of his butt. So basically his hamstrings and his tail had no feeling whatsoever. So his tail just kind of dragged around behind him and would collect leaves and whatnot. But when he would do a dookie, he wouldn't realize that his long fur, he's a Balinese, like long-haired Siamese cat, that his long fur, would capture a dookie here and there. And he didn't know because he couldn't feel it. So he didn't go back there and pick the sucker out. Eventually, he'd be walking around the house and it would fall off. And me, walk around the house with my glasses on, I'd be like, oh, there's a leaf on the floor. And I'd pick up a dried cat turd. And I'd be like, oh, I just picked up a cat turd for the third time this week. So I was constantly picking up that cat's turd thinking it was just like a leaf on the ground. I do miss that guy, but I don't miss the cat turds all over the place. from his dingleberries. Okay. Bithead, Pretender, VWAP, Pontiff. Don't sell your shares till after you receive the dividend, okay? But how would I have the chance of getting more shares if I don't sell them before? And if I do it after hours, and they say I have to hold through close, then I held through close, right? I did what they said. I don't know. It's tempting. It's tempting to see exactly what weirdness I can get out of this thing. I'm bored, man. I need some excitement in my life. I need some woo. And if it doesn't work, then I end up with exactly as many shares as I started with. I'm okay. So there you are. There you have it. Okay. Daphne's in Tahoe. All right, Daphne. It is beautiful there. Okay, everyone's saying where they're from. We got New Zealand, Michigan, on the West Coast, a weirdo night owl, Massachusetts, New Jersey, so I got some weirdo East Coasters on here. Ireland, Australia, Texas, another Michigan. Goodness gracious. Ed Sands, imagine Disney stock Moas. Yeah, that would be wild. DVS says FTDs on AMC are coming due early August, so likely good idea to go in on GME for now, as that is due to rocket next week. All right. Darren Haya, Houston, when do you think we can get some gamma or some price action for GME? I have the feeling they're going to hammer it next week. That they're just going to hammer it down next week. Post date of record. They're just going to screw everybody. But I think Friday there's going to be massive buying in. The price is going to be cheap. Everyone's going, you know what? I can pick up a dozen shares. It'll be payday. Folks will jump in. I think we'll see the price drop and then go up pretty steeply on Friday. That's my feelers, my whiskers are telling me. Jay Shimmy, but doesn't BlackRock have Bitcoin? Chris R., remember, if you do not receive your Divvy shares on 22nd, email GME Investor Relations and report your broker. Noted. AMC is merging with Enron. I wonder if in those crazy derivatives, if there's still like Enron shares floating about. You know, those like giant derivative pools that have been sitting around for 20 years full of dead companies that are still trading somehow. Okay. Grizzly Giant caught a live show. Did you finish the Star Trek series? Hey, stickers left. I do have stickers left. I do have... Oh, I was supposed to go to the post office today. Shit, I forgot to go to the post office. I got maybe 30 of them left? 25 of them? I have this many. That's what I have left. That many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30. I have 32. 32 left. So, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the P.O. box listed below. And, oh, maybe 33. Oh, 34. I got 34 left. Okay. No, this one doesn't work because the sticker's stuck. The sticker's stuck to that sticker. So, 33. I've got 33 left. So send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the P.O. box down in the description, and I will send you the Houston Have a Problem sticker. I forgot to remind you guys that. Send it. I'll send you a sticker. And there you go. So yeah, so why not? Let's see here. Going through pickles and olives. I'm going to squeeze my fat legs into my jeans tomorrow. It's going to work, that's for sure. At least somebody's squeezing, right? Okay. David Holcomb, will Walmart going back to 24/7 be the beginning of normalcy? I hear HEB is following them in select stores. I don't know. I don't really shop at Walmart. Although I heard people watching at like 1 a.m. at Walmart was one of the most amazing things ever. The one thing I had to buy from Walmart was I needed paper. I had something due, and I ran out of printer paper, and so I went to like the Safeway because they've got the little stationery section. No printer paper. I went to the 24-hour CVS to the stationery section. No printer paper. I had to drive like 40 minutes to a Walmart. Raced in there at, what was it, like 10:58 p.m. I guess they're closing at 11, and I had to get paper. It's the only thing I've bought from a Walmart maybe ever. So, it's far away, and Walmart's kind of evil, so I don't know. Yeah. Jay King, Houston, can you please explain the benefit of buying GME shares for the record? Because wouldn't you get the same amount of shares for the equal price afterwards? Where do you benefit? That's kind of what I was wondering. And that's why I was trying to capitalize on that lag time between date of record and issuance. But everyone's saying, no, don't do it, Houston. So, yeah. Brontal. You could hypothetically buy puts instead of selling shares, then sell to close at the bottom and buy more shares, not financial advice. Yeah. Yeah. So, Brontal's got a little plan going there. All right. Hoshi Gaming, can you explain the Nazca lines or how Machu Picchu was made? I'm not Peruvian and need answers. It never teaches any cool Earth stuff. Well, I mean, Machu Picchu was definitely like artisans. They carved stones and fit them together, and how they carved them. The way the Mediterraneans did it was they had wet lines. They had a wet rope that might have been on a continuous wheel, and it would just drag and drag and drag and drag and slice its way through the rocks. I wouldn't doubt the Peruvians had something similar. Because chipping that lava rock is hard, so sawing it is much easier. Later on, modern times, to do stones like that, to do clean lines, we use high-pressure water hoses. So, 10, 20, 30,000 pounds per square inch of fine line just slices right through it. So it's big. You'll see videos from like marble quarries in Italy, and they'll have these crazy hoses slicing out the marble and then transport them that way. How the Incans did it specifically, we don't have any record for. Because the people who probably did it probably died of novel viruses brought by the conquistadors, and no one told us how it happened. So it was rediscovered in the 1920s, even though locals already knew about it. But white person finally came along and said, "I made a discovery," and that is how Machu Picchu was found. Was it 1919? Whatever. What's his face went there. The Nazca lines, on the other hand, are carved into the salt pan of the Atacama Desert, and that was probably just literally like just digging, carving those lines. Have you guys ever seen the Nazca lines? Back to Google Earth. Gotta leave Hawaii here. And go to the Peruvian desert. And and Chile, I think, as well. But Nazca lines. I can't remember exactly where Nazca lines. Let me type it in here because I'm a Nazca lines. Oh, further north. I was way too far south. There we go. Okay, so what they did was they carved huge lines, going in different directions, some for miles and miles and miles and miles, look like highways crisscrossing the desert, and they also put in little creatures. So, what were some of the creatures? Is that a creature? No, that's just a squirrely bit of dirt. But no one knew they were here until they finally had the hot air balloons flowing over, and they're like, why does it look like there's all these roads and stuff all over? Some of them are like 15 miles long. And they go straight, or they have dog legs, all sorts of weird stuff. There's also crazy little wells dug out here as well. Where are some of the creatures? Give me a creature. Give me a creature, please. Give me a Nazca creature. There's some more Nazca lines. These things are really long. Ancient aliens are like, oh, space shuttle landings for alien creatures and stuff like that. But more likely than not, there's just some bored dudes trying to appease the gods who are looking down on them. Are these some, or are these... No, those look like retention ponds. Where are the creatures? Where are those weird little... Some of them are like in the shape of constellations. Some of them are in the shape of like birds. Of course, I'm just not happy to find them right now, even though I'm scouring and trying to find them. Give me a creature and not just a line in the salt pan. It's pretty exciting, isn't it? Watching me just drag around. Anyway, they probably did it by taking big rocks and just scraping. No one's else to explain exactly how all that happened. Okay. Scott Poland, Spinel as valuable as the Day's St. Patrick's Treasure Pot NFT on NFT.GameStop. Hey, get yourself a beautiful, rare Spinel, or you get yourself a picture of... I should post a picture of that Spinel, NFT it, and you can have your jewelry that way. You don't need to have the actual stone, you just have a picture of the stone, and then therefore you own the picture. Okay. Hanabada Brada Hanta. Hey, Houston. I don't know if you read Superstonk recently, but there was a post about someone's broker claiming the GME dividend is marked as bonus shares and not stock split dividend. Can you explain how? Not a clue. Yeah, I think a lot of the brokers... I've talked to people who are involved in trading stock. Like, that's their career. That's their job, is to be a broker and an advisor, and they misdefine what is going on. They keep calling it a split, but it's not really a split. It's a dividend. A split is different than a dividend, and they seem to be confusing that language. I don't know if it's on purpose or because they just don't know. Yeah. Kronk, I live in Fresno. Well, go get some Spinel, and go next door to Benito County. Go find some benitoite, one of the rarest stones on Earth. Benitoite is really cool. It's a really cool blue stone. Benitoite. This is benitoite. It is a cool kind of sky blue stone. It cuts really well, and it's one of the rarest gems on Earth, and it's only found in basically one location in Benito County, and that's it. It's never anywhere else. Something that's kind of purpley. It's really cool. I think this might be under X-ray or UV, but it fluoresces. It's an awesome stone, and the crystal clusters it comes in are really cool. They're very space alien, and worth a lot of money. Benitoite is super rare, worth a lot, and only found in one location. So if you get some, it's awesome. Get it. Get it. I think it's all in private land, though, where it is. SS Minnow Johnson, why does Pick Battles Guy keep leaving comments on your Twitter? He says you live with roommates at your age, but this can't be true, right? Yeah, I do live with roommates. That's the only way you can afford $1 million, $1.4 million house where I live. Either you're filthy rich because you were born that way, or you rent a house from someone who is filthy rich. Yeah, I've got roommates. But Pick Battles is my stalker. He's a neo-Nazi, serial stalker. I kicked him out of a community Facebook group because he was stalking and harassing somebody else, and made websites and documentaries about the dude. Just fucking weird. So I was like, get out. And he started stalking me, and that was almost 6 years ago. So for 6 years, he tweets about me upwards of 1,000 times a day. He's made 2 documentary movies about me. One was other stalking victims, a guy named Brandon Bryant, who was a drone pilot veteran for the Air Force, who got on Rick Pickbattle's bad side by pointing out that Rick was lying about his status and what he did in the Air Force. So Rick made a documentary about him and then framed him for terroristic threats. He took a bunch of YouTube videos that Brandon had made, spliced them together, selectively edited them to make it look like Brandon was threatening to kill the city council of the city of Missoula, and then called the police and said, "You have to look at this video. This guy is threatening to kill everyone." And the police arrested the dude and charged him, and he spent a whole bunch of time in jail before finally going to trial. And at trial, his lawyers easily showed the jury that these are the actual videos that were happening, and this is the video that Rick had made and edited to frame him to make it look like he was threatening people. And the jury acquitted. It took 2 minutes, and they just acquitted because it was obvious that he had been framed. Rick is awful. He is a terrible, terrible human being, an absolute nightmare. He sued the government, claiming that cyberstalking was his constitutional right. He sued the government because he went through a border checkpoint and refused to roll down the window on his bulletproof Mitsubishi Eclipse, and claimed that he was illegally detained by the Border Patrol because he wouldn't roll down his window and they wouldn't let him move on. And he lost that lawsuit. He's currently trying to sue some sergeant in the Air Force because she kicked him off of an Air Force, veterans community page. He's just fucking weird, man. He's terrible. He's an awful human being. All his buddies are a bunch of Oath Keepers and neo-Nazis, and Stuart Rhodes, the founders of the Oath Keepers, the dude that tried to overthrow the government and has a Nazi military, they're like this. And when Rick made his documentary about Brandon Bryant, he took it around to a whole bunch of these militia and neo-Nazi groups and showed the movie there. And so all these neo-Nazis started threatening Brandon Bryant and his family and his parents and his children. It was awful. And this is what Rick does. Rick's goal with me is to convince someone to murder me. That's his entire goal. Stochastic terrorism. He wants somebody to go, "Oh, fuck that Houston Wayne guy, he's terrible," and then kill me. And then Rick will go, "Ha, I won." And that's his goal. He doesn't want to kill me himself. He wants somebody else to do it. He wants to do it Charles Manson style. He wants to convince somebody to murder me, and then that's how he's going to get away with my murder. That's his entire goal. He tried doing it with a local judge here who slapped him with a restraining order. He made weird movies about her. He would make a movie, a little 10-minute documentary about the judge, and then he would pay Facebook $10,000 to show it to 1 million random people. And those 1 million random people had enough crazies on there that would say things like, "I'm going to kill that judge." And Rick would never moderate it. He'd be like, "Oh, that's so terrible. You shouldn't say things like that." Wink, wink. And then leave all those comments up. He's knucking futz. And if I could find him, I would slap him with a restraining order. But he lives in a van and he keeps moving around the woods, and I have no idea where he is. So otherwise, I have him served because it's awful. I mean, seriously, it's 1,000 times a day. He tweets about me. He makes Reddit pages about me, movies about me, websites about me. It is nonstop. It's constant, and it is exhausting. He is probably one of the most famous stalkers out there. He's done it to federal judges, to law enforcement, military personnel, housewives, veterans, community volunteers, mentally handicapped. He was stalking and harassing this poor dude who had hydroencephalopathy, he was born with water on the brain, and he's just a sweet guy. His IQ is very low, and Rick was making all these websites about the dude and harassing him. It was terrible. He's just an awful dude, and avoid him at all costs. Just block him. Just block him. He pops up on Twitter. Just block him. It's the best thing you can do. Don't ever get involved with him. Otherwise, don't respond to him. Just block the asshole. That's all you can do. Because he's in his van somewhere in the woods, jerking off to pictures of me and tweeting about me 1,000 times a day. Seriously, from 6 a.m. until 2 in the morning, he is, "Houston Wade is a brazen liar," blah, 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 to every single person who's ever interacted with me on the internet. It is nonstop. Yeah. Okay. Lap 27. I am Peruvian. I can tell you Nazca Lines was by Viracocha for the people from other planets. As good an answer as any. Okay. Purchase Son, did you ever read up on the new boson mass understanding? Crap. I have that link open somewhere. I did not actually read it. It was up here. Yeah, it's there. I have to read it up. Sorry, Proje. I've not gotten there yet. Okay. Joe Wickman, Houston. Do you think we should be sending all this money to Ukraine? We kind of have to. It's either we send the money to Ukraine or we send our own troops to Ukraine. Pick one. Because if Russia takes over Ukraine, they're moving on to Romania, Poland next, Latvia, Estonia, to NATO countries. If they move to the NATO countries, then we are bound by law to respond with full force of the U.S. military. So it's cheaper to send weapons to Ukraine and have Ukraine eviscerate Russian ammo dumps than it is to send our own military and millions of troops and lose lives fighting Russia in their invasions. That's basically those two options. If we let Russia have Ukraine, which is shitty for Ukraine, Russia will take Moldova, Romania, Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Finland. They'll just keep moving because basically Putin has said as much. He's like, I'm going to take over the world. That's what I'm doing. And that's his plan. Oh, hi, monkey. Oh, that's the look of a dog who wants a blanket. Sorry, you knocked your blanket on the floor. Look at your sad little face. You want your blanket so bad. There you go. Yeah, curl up. There you go. Yeah, that's what you wanted. Okay. There you go, buddy. All right. Shoot, and the chat just reset again. It's resetting. Okay. Oh, a bunch of messages deleted. One of those guys are saying. Probably nothing good. Okay. Angel Flores said Gmail is trading for 15 minutes after the 8 p.m. close. That's what you're talking about. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening, right? We shouldn't be trading 15 minutes after 8 p.m. close. I don't know what would be causing that, Angel. Yeah. Okay. All right. Everton asks, Houston, how are you? Are you excited for next week? Will you play risk call, safety ones, or a bit of both? I am looking to put all my position for weeklies. Bad idea. I bought a weekly put simply because I think sometime between Monday and Thursday they're going to hammer the price of the stock hard, and that might net me a couple of grand. So I got one at 130, and if it goes to 120, then I make what, $1,200 off of it. Goes lower than that, then woohoo. So that means $1,200. That's another 10 shares now. 40 shares later. I'll take it. DVS, tons of puts sold off on XRT late Friday. They're getting ready to run GME. All right. Maybe they'll do the opposite. Maybe I totally did the wrong bet. I should have bought one of each. Let one of them go. Okay. Jay King, Houston, can you still buy GME early Monday morning and still get the dividend? That's what the brokers are saying, is that you'll get somebody else's dividend, whoever sold on Monday. So, I don't know. I bought what I'm going to buy, and that's what I bought. So I'm not going to try and buy any more on Monday. Okay. Okay. BW brand. The number of people I saw cash out in '08 at the deepest moment of losses, I wouldn't put it past retail to do the worst possible thing. Yeah. I had a buddy who he was working for Research and Emotion, what's BlackBerry now. We called it his rim job. He was working his rim job, making good money as a database dude, and he basically took most of his year's salary, dropped it into the SPY March of '09, and he's retired now at age 40, basically as a result of that. So he's just traveling the world with his girlfriend, having a great time. So 13 years, and he's just sold out everything like this spring, and he is retired. Good on him. Way to go. Okay. Jorge Sinceros. If I make a suggestion, upload your clips from your live cast as shorts or TikToks where you quickly explain things in layman's terms. It will bring in a lot of traffic to your channel. I know. I know it would. I need a friggin' producer to like cut all this stuff up for me. I just don't have the energy or time. For me, to editing, like cutting up video takes so long. So unbelievably long. It takes forever. And I just don't have the time or patience. I mean, somebody's good at it to like just do it for me. Where did Kimberly's market strategy? Yes, it's been what is wrong with living with their parents? I mean, if you live with their parents, live with their parents. But Rick is always saying they live with my parents. I don't live with my parents. My parents live separate from me. They have their own homes. I have my own home. I probably will end up living with them at some point because they're old as shit. I'm the kid who's lives on the island with them, so somebody's gonna take care of them. Jimmy D, Houston, you made a rift in my heart. Jimmy D, I love you, man. I'll try to wear a tight shirt for you next time. Wednesday's show was a very tight shirt. I had to unbutton it, and it was just too tight. Okay. Devin Wan, rest in peace, 180 GME calls. The only green in my portfolio is 100 shares of MMTLP at 117. 180 is a bit. I have stopped going for YOLO calls, and I try to get as close to in the money as I can afford, either calls or puts. Because if you got a volatile stock, it's going to bounce across that point at some point, and you seem to do all right. Okay. Pretty Sanders member Houston Wade always said his channel's up for sale. Ain't hedges want to pony up money. Man, I'll take that money all day long and I'll buy so many GME calls with it. Goodness gracious. Yeah. If a hedge fund's watching, cut me a check, man. Channel is all yours. I'll take your check and I will go file whistleblower status and I'll win twice. I'll do it. It'll be wonderful. So yeah, bring it. No one's ever offered. The only people who have ever offered to sponsor my channel has been some crappy game company that wanted me to like make 40 videos a month of me playing their shitty little phone game, and they're gonna pay me like $100 to do it. No, that's not worth it. I'm not gonna make and edit 40 videos a month of me playing your crappy phone game for $100. That is just not worth it. I mean, maybe I could add professional gamer to my tag after that, but no. BW Brand, I'm looking forward to seeing stores back to 24-hour service. I've loved dealing with lines and masses of people. I am all about late night everything. I will go grocery shopping 11 o'clock at night when no one's around. It's so much easier. And yeah, they might be out of a couple things while they're restocking, whatever. But at least I don't deal with people. I wish we had a 24-hour fitness place around because I would love to go to the gym at 11 o'clock at night. That is like peak time for me to be interested in doing things. I would definitely be for that. Yeah, I wish there was a 24-hour diner here too. In college, we'd go to Ken's Pancake House in Hilo at 1 a.m. probably 3 or 4 nights a week. Just because you could do homework or you could go to Ken's and get a top of the morning waffle combo. And that was fantastic. I will eat breakfast pastries any time of day, gladly. Waffles, pancakes, French toast. Just slather it in scissor and go. Okay, everyone's telling me where to go with Nazca lines. It's too late. Nazca lines are over now. BTB brand, so I can splice videos and slander people or frame them for future crimes and not have to deal with any negative results. Sounds like fun. Pretty much. He's wanted for questioning, but no one knows where he is. And Missoula police don't have enforcement outside of the city of Missoula, so, you know, what are you going to do? I would bet that dude's FBI file is really thick, though, because of his stalking of federal judges and law enforcement. And because, you know, he joined the Oath Keepers while active duty in the Air Force, which is against the law and faced repercussions for that. And then he lied to his commanding officers about a website he had called Pick Your Battles, where he basically just ragged on his senior officers over and over again. He's like, I didn't make that website. And then he got busted on the website. He ended up losing his security clearance. He claimed it was because he refused an illegal order to assassinate an American, but really it's because he was using federal computers to stalk federal employees and judges. And so he was removed from flight duty and was flying a desk with MPs that had to follow him everywhere. And then basically was forced into retirement. It was basically a retire your 20 years or we're going to kick you out and take your pension. And he was like, I'm retiring. But, you know, he was stuck at Major for like 12 years with no room for going upwards. He was originally a co-pilot on a C-130 gunship, apparently. Got demoted to flight training. While doing flight training, got busted trying to essentially force the cadets who were learning to fly to do like weird militia-style homework. Like, I want you to learn about this crazy militia guy and write a paper on it. And they're like, you can't do that. Your job is to teach him to fly. And he's like, I'll teach him whatever I want. And so they removed him from teaching flying, and he got put on drones. So imagine being a major in the Air Force flying a drone with a bunch of like high school graduates who are like, you know, private third class or whatever specialists flying these drones. And then he got removed from drone duty and put as a co-pilot on a drone, and then removed from flight duty entirely. So that's his illustrious career. And he got this master's degree that was like through the military base he was on, and his master's thesis was essentially fighter pilots think they're so cool. And that was his master's thesis. He also he had this whole website of like he got all his military records and just uploaded them because he got his whole file. And in the file was this thing where he had some class during his master's degree, wrote a paper, and the professor gave him a bad grade, gave him a C or whatever. And so he filed a grievance against the professor, and the paper went in front of a board of other professors, and they gave him an even worse grade. Like the professor was doing him a favor, and because he complained, they're like, "Yeah, this is actually worse than what the professor gave you. We're giving you an even worse grade." It was hilarious. Oh, where did... Oh, crap. I just lost my place here. There it is. Okay. Supreme Pig Roach. Could we see deep space travel in our lifetime? Probably not. I would suspect we start building moon colonies the next decade. The next 15 years, hopefully the first helium ore comes from the moon. From someone, either Bezos or China or whatever. Probably not a lot, but the first, we got helium from the moon. We proved it. We can use it. Next 30 years, active mining operations going on. Regular shipments of helium-3 making it from the moon. People going to establish, live in what are permanent bases on the moon. 30 to 50 years, I bet we'll start seeing the first experimentation with fast propulsion space, scramjets, ramjets, ion thrust, whatever it is, for interplanetary travel. And within the 20, 30 years after that, we've perfected enough that we can do regular travel between, asteroid belts and whatnot in a few days. And beyond that is fuzzy science fiction. Does the Earth still exist in 50 years? Have we all died? Cooked ourselves to death? Because I don't know if you saw the temperatures in Rome today, but holy shit, people are just cooking alive there. Everyone's got to go summer in London. It's the only way you're gonna survive the summers in Europe. But yeah, so I give next 30 to 50 years, I bet we'll see some cool experimentation of fast propulsion, at least interplanetary fast propulsion. Okay. Where did... Okay, that was... Change interest rate. Daphne, please don't advocate for selling people follow your lead. I'm not advocating. I'm saying it's a total gamble. I'm not advocating in any way, shape, or form, Daphne. I will gamble, because why not? But other people, don't gamble if you don't want to. No. Okay. Jimmy D. Jimmy is the best cult I ever joined. Sorry, I lost my point here. B2B brand, Rick thinks you're a sexy man. Rick wants my baby so bad. So bad. It's all I can think about. There's a picture of me everywhere he goes. It's just probably on the walls, the ceiling. Probably all of it's sticky and stained. Just absolutely loves me. BW brand trades can happen after hours, part of the new trade matching. If someone has buy and other has sell orders, they are brought together in after hours. Well, that's maybe why it's still going on for 15 minutes afterwards. Okay. All right. Supreme Pig Roach, thoughts on long calls for GME? So long calls, this is what my brokers have sent me, is that they will reset Friday for 400 shares at 1/4 the strike price. So let's say you bought a call at $200, right? For 100 shares, it would become 400 shares at $50. So that's how they're going to work it. So it's like having 4 calls essentially. So I might, maybe Thursday, buy a weekly for the following week at market. So I end up with basically 4 calls out of it. See how that goes. I'd be curious. I'm very curious to see how that work. How it works out. BW Brand, he said, do you find your cat in places that should not be, like under a mattress or behind a fridge? No. He doesn't ever wind up in weird spots. He usually, he does a cycle. For like a month, he'll sleep on the counter in the bathroom for some reason. And for like a month straight, he'll just be on that counter every single day, sleeping there, having a great time. And then the next month, he'll be on the ottoman. I'll see him on the ottoman constantly, just every single day for a month. And then the month after that, he might sleep on the bed in the guest bedroom every single day. He'll be on the bed in the guest bedroom. And the month after that, every single day, he's like on a pile of sweaters in my closet. He's there every single day for a month. And then for a month, he'll like sleep on the windowsill in my roommate's room. And I don't know why, he just thinks, oh, this is the best spot in the world. This is great. And all of a sudden he's like, never again. I'm going to this other location. That's where I'm going to be now. I might see it as like his guest houses. Like he's got villas all over the property and that's where he goes. He really likes going into the garage and sleeping on top of the bags of camping chairs. Those like crappy nylon bags you stuff folding camping chairs into. He likes those. He really likes the second step on our back porch. He loves to sit in that. He loves just being in the middle of the driveway, sitting in the sun. So he loves that. He likes being on the boat also. There's a crappy, dilapidated boat. A former roommate was like, hey, my brother got this boat. He needs to keep it here for a month. Is that cool? And that was 3 years ago. And that roommate moved out. And now got this fucking boat just sitting there. No engine, no seats, no nothing. Just a fiberglass shell on a trailer. Someone take it away from me, please. But the cat likes to sit there like a little captain, just looking out of this pilot house. He's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Project Son, you can't just wait to taste Pop's plums. Next week, man, Dad plums. Dad plums should be starting to get ripe by next week. I'll do a live video of eating Dad's plums. You guys can know what my O-face is like after that. BW Brand, my dad planted a plum tree 10 years ago. I saw the thing today. It's almost laying on the ground, so full of fruit. Dude, the minute it looks like weeping willow, start plucking those suckers and eating. BTW. Get them. Get them all. They're delicious. Yeah. Jimmy D, thought on Brazil-sized bubble. Sounds like a terrible idea, no? In space to cool Earth. Oh, that thing. They wanted to make that giant, film thing to block the sun. That's, Mr. Burns did that. That's just a plot from The Simpsons. Yeah. Mylar or whatever they want to make it out of. I'm not sure. Okay. We're almost 12:30. I have to shut down at 12:30. I got to go lead a field trip tomorrow. Last one of the summer. Yes. Lead a field trip tomorrow, so I got to do that early in the morning. So at 12:30, that's it for me. So I got 6 minutes, folks. I am caught up, though. I'm psyched that 250 of you are hanging out with me at 12 o'clock in the morning my time. That's fantastic. Yeah. MIT making bubbles in space hurts my head. Yeah. BTB Brand, the idea of a sun sail not attached to anything is what it was. The sun will sail it. Yeah, the sun will just push it against the atmosphere, and then it will just float down. There was talk of throwing some sort of sulfide particulate in the atmosphere, sort of like a fake volcano, and just sticking all that stuff in the atmosphere to cool things down. We may have to resort to something extreme like that if stuff gets out of hand. We may have to. But I think the best solution is plant trees, suck CO2 from the atmosphere, use less fuels. That, I think, is the solution. And we're just not there. We're not doing it. Okay. Green-eyed banded elixir. Green-eyed banded elixir. I am. You got me for like only a few more minutes. Green-eyed banded elixir, and then I'm done. Supreme Pig Roach, what is helium-3 and why is it so important? Helium-3 is an isotope of helium. So normal helium has 2 protons, 2 neutrons that make up the nucleus of the atom. Helium-3 is 2 protons and 1 neutron. It is a material that's very abundant on the surface of the moon, because what happens is the sun, nuclear reactions, all sorts of weird stuff are made. You have neutrons flying around, protons flying around, particles smashing into each other, making new things, lots of nuclear explosions, and the sun will basically send helium-3 throughout the universe, just out as part of the cosmic rays that come off the sun, or solar rays that come off the sun, and it bombards the surface of all the planets. And here on Earth, we have an atmosphere, and the helium goes boing, and it just bounces off, because helium is much lighter than oxygen, so it hits it and flies away. On the moon, there is no atmosphere, so it hits the dust of the moon and sticks like socks out of the dryer. Static clings to it. And so for the last 4.5 billion years, the surface of the moon has been collecting helium-3 that has been off-gassed, or whatever you want to say, solar rayed off of the moon, of the sun. It's been hitting the moon and collecting the dust in the moon. So the dust is just full of the stuff. What is great about it is that we can use it to fuse with itself. We can take helium-3 and helium-3 and we can fuse it together and make bring up a periodic table here so you guys can see. There. Okay. So we got helium over here, and we can fuse it together and create beryllium and other things. And beryllium that gets created wouldn't be a radioactive isotope. It would be solid beryllium. We could use the beryllium for things. We could fuse those suckers together, make beryllium, and we wouldn't make any greenhouse gases. We wouldn't make any radioactive toxic sludge or anything like that. And the energy potential out of it is just huge. So it would take about 25 tons of the stuff. Basically, one fuel truck load of helium-3 could power the entire United States for a year. And on the surface of the moon, there's enough proven reserves of helium-3 that we know of. There's still other places we can scout and look for, but there's enough proven reserves of helium-3 to power all 8 billion people on Earth at American energy consumption levels. And Americans are 4% of the population, and we consume 25% energy, so that's how much we could raise the energy consumption of other people around the world at no cost to the planet via radioactivity or greenhouse gases. We could power the entire planet, all 8 billion people, at American energy consumption levels for the next 10,000 years with helium-3. So, China, Jeff Bezos, Japan, India, they're all trying to get to the moon to take control of the future helium-3 market. And we've got the Lawrence Livermore laboratories in California are doing experiments at their fusion lab with it. We've got fusion reactors built by the University of Washington, by Lockheed Martin. There's another company that someone mentioned the other day, Zap2 or whatever it is, in the Seattle area. It's making small fusion reactors for, planes and helicopters and stuff. It is our future. That's what the entire space race comes down to, is whoever can control that helium-3 essentially controls the entire Earth for the next 10,000 years. So that will be our entire energy source. That's what we're going to be using, man. Okay. Pickles Anonymous. Houston, how many Genie shares up to now? Have you hit 100? I am over 100. I'm not highly over 100. I don't have 200 yet. But, yeah, I've got more than 100. Okay. BW Brand, talking about thorium reactors. I'm all about thorium reactors. I don't know why we don't do them more. We should be doing thorium reactors. We also should be doing what Japan does and have secondary reactors take care of our waste instead of just dumping it in holes in the ground. That stuff's still getting off radiation. Suck all the energy out of it you can. Okay. Billy, any updates on GMG? This is a Graphene Manufacturing Group. I haven't seen. They're still building their headquarters, I believe. What's happening with their news? Press releases. So June 23rd, changed the board of directors. June 15th, they got some sort of commission for some sort of sell. Okay. I'm waiting for when their headquarters are done. So they're working with Stanford now. So they aren't just University of Queensland, which is, I think, who pretty much owns them. I haven't heard. Where is headquarters? They started construction headquarters in like September. No, October. Okay, so they started construction. So commissioning 2021. It doesn't say when it should be finished. Yeah. So we know that Bosch is building their tooling. So they got that there going for them. But yeah, I don't know any other news that's coming out. I think we're waiting to see when their plant gets done and they start building replacement batteries. The goal is plug and play batteries. Basically, take the battery of your phone, replace it with their battery. It should work totally fine, and that's going to be their proof of concept, and then they can build from there. So that's what we're waiting on. Okay. Chris Detloff. So if you have 50 GME after the split, you'll have 200. Yes, exactly that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm at 12:30. I gotta go to bed. I do have to take these dudes on a field trip tomorrow and do a wonderful short documentary on how Seattle got built. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Talk about all the materials that they used to build Seattle and where they came from and who they traded with and how the city burned down and then got rebuilt and then earthquakes happened and then got rebuilt and whatnot. So we're gonna do that. I'll see you guys Monday. Yeah, see you guys Monday. I don't know if I'll see you. I'll see you sometime on Wednesday. I'm not sure when. I have a meeting with that Canadian company, so sometime. But Monday for sure. I'll see you then. And one of these, right? Everybody say if you're safe for yourself, you little slug in a blanket. Nothing? Okay. Boom.